Hey guys, how you doing? This is a video response to Screw Attack's Goku versus Superman. First off, I'd like to start off with saying that Screw Attack, you did a fantastic job. I know these guys put a lot of hard work into them. So I mean, you got some haters out there that are kind of crying about the results. We'll get into that in a little bit, but overall, I just want to thank Screw Attack, all you guys, Team 4-Star, and everyone involved for putting this on for us fans. I'm being a big fan myself. Um, Very appreciative of this. Thank you very much, guys. Next thing I'd like to talk about is before I go into any details of anything, I do want to point out that I'm a Dragon Ball Z fanboy. So obviously I wasn't happy about the outcome, but I do agree with it. Going into this, I was very uneducated about. I thought I was educated, but it turns out I was very uneducated about Superman's abilities and his powers and his limits that don't really exist. But overall, after seeing what Goku's abilities were versus Superman's abilities were, clearly Superman has the edge. Goku didn't stand a chance. When they said just how much Superman can move versus how much Goku can move, I mean, it was like 9.6 octillion versus like 6.2 sextillion, something like that. An octillion being, yeah. Regardless, Superman ridiculously more powerful than Goku, even in Super Saiyan 4. Overall, though, I mean, it was the fight. The animations were fantastic. But my main point being, again, first off, let me address my little fellow Dragon Ball Z fanboys. Stop crying. Goku lost. Live with it. I mean, it sucks, but at the same time, I mean, with the ways they have Superman written nowadays, it's absolutely true. Now, that being said, the main thing I want to get at is my main rant of this whole this little review of what they did is and this is not towards Screw Attack. This is towards the writers of Superman now and what they've done with him. He's not a superhero anymore. He can't be. That's the whole point of a superhero, is to have a struggle, an actual struggle, not the struggle to fit into society. That's stupid. That's retarded. I've never been a Superman fanboy, but I've always kind of liked Superman, watched the movies. The animated series was really big into Justice League back when it was on. Also, I would read the comics here and there as I came across them. I never really sought them out, but I would read them here and there. And so I was relatively aware what his abilities are, but they have gone entirely too far to the extreme. I mean, the Superman official fan page actually said. They actually said this, that Superman is as strong as he needs to be. That is the most twinkle toes fairy fuck bullshit of an answer I've ever heard in my life. They have written him into invincibility, aside from obviously his weaknesses, which are only three of them. I'll hold my hand up high enough. Which obviously his three weaknesses are going to be magic, kryptonite, and then not being in the presence of a yellow sun for an extended period of time, or a blue sun. The problem with that is, sure, those are his weaknesses. So obviously he's not invincible. But that being said, you're basically saying without those three things he can't be beaten. So that pretty much leaves only people that can take on Superman are those that know enough about him to actually do any damage to him. And that kind of takes away from a superhero's the whole point of being a superhero. I mean, the whole point is he has to actually face a challenge, not just how, I have to make sure to be delicate with this plane, otherwise I might kill everybody inside. That's stupid. That's not a superhero. That's godhood. They have written him into godhood. They have overpowered him to an extent where it's not even respectable anymore. In the 1970s, they did the exact same thing. They wrote him too powerful. And then in 1986, like Screw Attack said, they basically had to hit the reset button on Superman because he was too fucking powerful. It was no fun anymore. Well, they're fucking doing it again. They're doing the exact same thing. They were repeating history. Superman is once again entirely too powerful for his own good. I mean, the motherfucker's holding black holes in his hand. He's holding black holes in his hand. He's clapping galaxies out of existence. I mean, it's getting silly now. It's just silly. It's just, I mean, and this is coming from a big DC fanboy. I'm huge on Batman. I've always loved Batman, as well as various other DC universes characters as well. Always been really big in the Justice League. But I mean, with the point that they've written Superman now, it basically makes the entire Justice League obsolete. It's just be Superman, you know, or because why would you need an entire team of superheroes when Superman can pretty much just fucking do everything himself? It's stupid. It's silly, you know. And pretty much they get the point whenever they write something that whenever the writers come up like, oh, here's something that Superman can do. Then they just come out and say, oh, by the way, he can do this. There you go. You know, it's again, it's silly. You know, they have put him to such an extreme where I mean, they say his mind is a supercomputer. He has mastered various forms of martial arts. You know, I never remember Superman knowing really any form of martial arts. But again, mind you, I'm not a fanboy of Superman. You know, I mean, I'm sure there'll be some of you Superman fanboys out there that are gonna be like, oh, this guy's an idiot, you know what the fuck he's talking about. Which for the most part, I don't. You know, I'm not criticizing. I'm not criticizing Superman. I'm not saying that Superman doesn't have these abilities. I'm just saying that Superman shouldn't have some of these abilities. And again, I'm not upset about the outcome of the Goku. So don't take this as a fanboy just whining because this guy lost. I'm mostly just kind of ranting a little bit because I had no idea just how powerful they had made Superman over these last 10 years. You know, I've kind of fallen off the bandwagon with him for a while, and they've gone up and to the left with him. I mean, I couldn't believe just how powerful they have made him now. It's silly. It's no fun to read about a superhero that has no challenge anymore. You know. And I know some of y'all are going to be like, oh, it's a mental challenge. Oh, you have to try and fit in with society and blah, 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 and control his power. That's fucking stupid. That's retarded. That's not superhero. That's God trying to fit in with mankind. That's not fun. That's not fun. It's not interesting. It takes away entirely from the entire... It takes away the integrity of the entire Superman franchise. It really does. It takes away the entire integrity because they're for one, they're repeating history. They're making them too powerful once again. Number two, they're going to continue to do this. You know, every time they bring in a physical challenge for Superman, it's, oh, by the way, he's always kind of been able to do this, or for some like mental blocks. Again, stupid. You know, I mean, I mean, I'm not saying that Superman shouldn't be very powerful. He obviously should be. He should be able to, you know, fly the speed of light, you know, move mountains and shit like that with relative ease. But they've gone too far with him. It's no fun anymore. And it's, you know, and again, as a DC fanboy myself, not so much Superman fanboy, but as a DC fanboy, I'm begging for the writers to stop what they're doing with Superman. They're killing him. They're making him bad. They're making him worse. You know, you want to go back. You know, when Superman died against Doomsday, and then, you know, and then I used to own that comic. This is back when I was really big into Superman. When Superman was killed once again by Doomsday, and then in the end they realized that, you know, the writers kind of came to, and that's a writer flunk. You know, the writers came to the decision. They're like, okay, well, we don't want Superman to actually be, we don't want Superman to stay dead, so we need to figure out a way to bring him back. And so how they do that? They say, oh, he was never actually dead. He was just in a healing coma, and that's kind of like, well, that's bad writing. That is exactly what that is. That's bad writing. That's them making a decision and to write something into the story and then being unwilling to commit to that. Especially when you name your comic The Fucking Death of Superman, and then you come out and say, oh, he's not really dead. That's retarded. That's stupid. That's bad writing. And Dragon Ball Z is guilty of it too, so I'm not saying that Dragon Ball Z doesn't do that, but they have the Dragon Balls, you know, and they kind of try to throw some limits in that, and then they kind of cast the limits away. And that was when Dragon Ball Z started to go downhills, when they kept, oh, wishing this person, let's wish this person back to life, let's wish this person back to life, But at least they died, at least they were actually dead. While with Superman, it was kind of like, no, he's not actually dead, he just kind of was in a coma, he was asleep and healing. That's stupid, It's, again, bad writing. So, I mean, but once again, I'm going to go ahead and end this by saying, once again, thank you so much, ScrewTac. I completely agree with your outcome. You guys did a fantastic job. I know you guys busted your ass for this. And, again, thank you so much on behalf of all the other grunting Dragon Ball Z fanboys who are all cutting themselves and crying right now. Thank you very, very much. And I can't wait to see you next episode.